Hello everybody, I'm Matt Little, and today we're going to talk about my thresholds drill. This drill is actually a little bit of a multi-purpose drill. One purpose behind it is to learn to manipulate your weapon in tight spaces. Obviously, all of the things being equal, we prefer to have a bit of standoff from cover or a threshold, but sometimes that's just not possible because of the environment we are in, right? So that's one purpose, one benefit of doing this drill. Another thing this drill is good for is learning to dismount and mount the gun, going around, say, a corner in a hallway or going around the threshold in a doorway in order to get the gun up and on the unknown area as rapidly and efficiently as possible, right? There's some technical issues about how to do this that I think are very important and often understated. So the way I'm going to explain this is I'm going to talk about something I teach on the draw first because it applies to this technique. So when I teach a draw, I'm a big believer in physical reference points, right? I tell people to memorize the point that this finger, your pointer finger on your support hand, touches the bottom of the trigger guard on a proper grip for you, right? Because everybody's grip is a little bit different. And I tell people when they do the draw that the moment the gun is past the hand, that's the only part of this hand, the support hand, they put on the gun at first. A lot of people try to get a full grip here and then press out on the draw. But if you watch my shoulders, I get tension built up by doing that. And I'm going to slow the draw down and I'm not going to be able to move athletically. Tension kills athletic performance. You have to be relaxed and powerful, not tense and stiff and rigid, right? So from here on the draw, I would just roll the hand into position so the grip is finalized by the time I'm pressing the trigger, right? So we're going to do the same thing with that on this. Because we're artificially close to this barricade, I'm going to have to bring the gun back in and press it back out. Now, I'm not going to go to position Sewell, I'm not going to go to the low ready, I'm not going to go to some high ready or temple index. All I'm going to simply do is keep the gun in a relaxed and coordinated position, and I'm going to let this hand come off the gun except for that physical reference point and then roll the grip back in. That prevents me from being stiff and rigid and lets me move athletically and in a relaxed, efficient fashion. So, artificially close to the barricade, present and take my shot. Finger comes off the trigger. This is really important. This hand relaxes. I roll the gun in nice and tight. Notice I'm keeping it high around my chin level, somewhere between the top of my chest and my chin. Extend it back out, rolling the grip in until I can make the shot. Same thing, finger off the trigger. Relax this hand, let it roll in, keep the shoulders down. Extend the gun back out and make the shot. Now, a really important point on this is this drill, because of the nature of it, makes even very safe and competent shooters prone to putting their finger on the trigger while they're moving the gun from one side of the barricade to the other, right? And I think the reason for that is that because the barricade is on its side and I can see the target from both sides, I have a tendency to keep the gun, finger on the trigger, to get that shot off. Now, if there was no barricade here and I had two targets and I could see both targets and see the gun, there's nothing wrong with keeping my finger on the trigger. But in this context, I have to ensure I take it off the trigger. Because if I bump this barricade with my finger on the trigger, I'm sending a round to whom it may concern, which is something we never want to do, right? So be very, very cognizant of keeping your finger off the trigger when you're manipulating the gun around this barricade so that you don't have an ND, all right? So I'm going to show it a little bit more dry, then we're going to go live. All right, so now I'm going to go hot. We're going to demonstrate it live. All right, so that's my thresholds drill. Kind of a multi-purpose drill. I like it a lot. Try it out. I think it'll help your weapons handling and your ability to maneuver the gun in enclosed spaces.